Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Trade the Pool live stream with me, Scott, and Mitch is in the house. How you doing, Mitch?
Hey, rested, got a couple extra days, ready to come after this market. We only got 2 days this week, so guess what? Got to go a little extra hard. You know where you're at. Trade the pool. Let's get it started. All right, back in the hot seat, Scott. Here we go. Ready to come after it. You guys know where we're at. It's Trade the Pool. Let's get it started. Let's take a look in the market. Keep throwing up those stocks that you guys are watching. It looks like we already got a list in there. Scott, what are you looking at early in the morning?
Yeah, I had a short this morning. What did I have a short on? I think it was POAI. POAI, only one of those benchmark plays. A benchmark play, 25 cents off this sell side liquidity pool, but it was looking strong on the tape. We didn't make it down to the buy side here. So we had another couple of attempts of it, and now it is seemingly falling off. But those buy pools are still sitting there. Okay, so we're still in them. So we're still looking to see if on the open we get a pop down perhaps to $2, 190s for a buy, or whether this guy here is going to hold right around now at about 230, pushing out of there now. So we'll be listening for that kind of momentum on POAI. So it's just a point to note that the sell side is going to be sitting up here now from 280 down to these kind of lows at 220. So it's right where the benchmark is. So that is the point that we are going to need to smash with momentum if we're going to go any higher today. Otherwise, I think all we'll probably get is a spike up to perhaps the round number for the shorts to come in, because we are at that benchmark. So we've seen these go supernova if the benchmark breaks. Sell side is sitting there at the 260 level. So we'll keep an eye on POAI. Point worth noting right now, those moving averages are sitting right underneath us. Where's the VWAP on this? The VWAP's just above us as well. So it's all lining up quite nicely on POAI. We just want to see if we get anything on the tape when we come to the open on that. What else we got? NNE's been on the move today. That was also a benchmark 2. So that's benchmark 2 pre-market. It's that early bird session that I talk about there at between 4 and 5 a.m. EST. Come back, tried to look up there at 580 at the sell side liquidity and is already down resting in its buy side. So all we're going to do is call this game over today unless we hear NNE on the tape again. This morning pushing out of this $5 area. That's NNE. What else has been on? Swin most recently has been on. I haven't marked this up, but it's just tacked into the $5 there. Let's see what history we've got on this. Oh, it looks like it's playing out on a smaller time frame right now. Then let's get some of these off. All right, so we're kind of looking from the lows. Oh, this is going to have a huge amount on it if we use this. Yeah, this is like in play then. Benchmark sitting up there at 580. I'll draw this on a little bit clearer, but that's a massive post-market move there. Stalled in the pre-market, and now we've just popped. So this might be looking like one that actually does have legs. Let's see where the sell side liquidity is on this at the moment. Okay, so we're going to take it from the pre-market from, what is that, Friday? Take that down. All right, so $7 is the sell side liquidity. Let's bring that down here. Let's see. Okay, benchmark up there around 650. Benchmark 2 above 8 right now. So we'll keep an eye on this morning, because you don't actually get a whole lot of these that actually look like they could run through the benchmarks and get there when we're just a lot below them. So we're just going to keep an eye on this one on SWIN this morning. Looks like it's got potential. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's all I've got for the moment, Mitch.
All right, let's take a look at some other action in the market. Let's take a look at some big boys. DraftKings getting hit hard this morning, and it looks like there's a tax rate hike, and this came from Illinois. So take a look at that 25 budget, including a sports betting tax hike. But the interesting part was I was already looking at DraftKings to start cutting down. And a big part of that is I drew this line. You guys can see it, created it on the 24th. So that was 4 days ago, right? Now I'm starting to think, now it has the catalyst to go down also, not just the chart, right? So that gives me a little bit more conviction to start looking for a turnaround in a stock like this. It's a consumer cyclical that's made a big cup here. So now I'm going to start looking for a little bit of some pullback action, maybe looking for some pops to get short on this, looking back into the 39s and 40 handle. We'll see what happens there in DraftKings. Gambling stocks starting to take a hit off of that tax cut there. But there's some other stocks, of course, making moves today. We can talk a little bit about GameStop, right? GameStop getting a little bit of a jump after announcing off Friday, right? They made $933 million off of probably us, right? Now, I'm just saying that because at the end of the day, it was common shares sold to probably retail. Let's just be honest. Maybe JFK or JFK Jr., right? I heard a lot out there mentioned on that, but GameStop, remember what I talked about last week? I said I'd pay attention to it after 24. Literally, that was the price point because I felt like it was stuck between this range and it was like a $2 or $3 range where it was just going sideways. And you can tell that by just looking at the hourly chart, right? All this action here sideways throughout last week. It was about 6 days of sideways action. Now we're actually starting to get above that level. So what I'd be looking for now is does it want to start closing a little bit of the gap, starting to work its way back into this little gap here? The low there is 27.59. So that's going to be in play for me. Am I thinking today 40? No, but I am thinking 27's in reach. It's at 24.05 right now. This is something that can be played today. Has a lot of action on the watch. I think this one might go before the market open, but that's something to keep in mind. So what I will be looking for is if it does go before the market opens, then I'll be looking for quick washouts out the gates to jump in on the party. If not, if it doesn't go in the pre-market, what I'll be watching for more is that opening wash down. So we'll see what happens here with GME, see if it can start making its way back above 24, important levels here. And it's in the news, right? We'll see what happens there. Looks like activist Elliott is taking a $2.5 billion stake in Texas Instruments. That's not something that we play too often, but I definitely want to let you guys know that when I see any news flow through the tape, I'll give you guys a heads up. T-Mobile taking an acquired position in U.S. Cellular. So maybe T-Mobile starts to be in play, but usually the company acquiring the company, right, usually comes down. We'll see what happens with this. Definitely consolidation coming in for telecom. You guys seen it. T-Mobile is just best of breed now, even better than Verizon. Even Verizon is struggling, and this tells me in the long run, I think AT&T is going to struggle and eventually might get bought out by one of the two big boys, either Verizon or T-Mobile comes in here. I think AT&T is on the struggle. We'll see what happens there. Let's keep going. Let's take a look around. Of course, a lot of people still talking about anti-obesity medicines. That's going to be your like HIMS and plays like that. Oil on the radar this week as OPEC will be having a meeting, right? And so we'll see what happens with OPEC Plus meeting. This was supposed to be on Sunday, right, to review what would happen. Now you're starting to see oil starting to get a little bit of a jump here. I'm going to be watching to see what happens with a stock like Valero that I already had on watch. Can it get back above the 164? Going towards that 166. That's definitely on the radar today. And you can see here on my equally weighted energy index that we've had that nice little quick pullback. Let's see if we can work our way back to resistance, or will we start to break down the support, right? You can also watch the XLE if you just like kind of going with the ETF, right? That's going to be one that's going to be on watch. But let's talk about, of course, the elephant in the room, the monster move that NVIDIA had, of course. Did you see that, Scott? I mean, this thing.
I sure did.
absolute monster. It's up there to 1,098, almost 1,100. And of course, the stock split's coming up. Is this the time here where it starts to blow off top, or does Nvidia still have room to run? Honestly, I don't think anyone knows, but I'll tell you one thing. It'll definitely be on the radar because this stock is going to move, right? Win or lose money, it's definitely going to be in play. We'll see what happens here on Nvidia. What are you thinking about that, Scott? Do you think this can keep going, man? This thing, what a move.
I think 1,200. 1,200, I think. I've had 1,200 on there for a while. We acknowledged this. So we had this benchmark that we've seen and we closed above it. Then we have hit the backside of it. Now, if we was going to come off of everything that's been happening with Nvidia last week, I think that was the time for me. That's the sell side, but it didn't. It just held. This is just a 5-minute EMA 200 it's holding, and then it broke the sell side. So the next thing I've got up there is around 1,200. Not saying it's got to be today, but I think that's where it's going to push for, because there's certainly a gap there for me where I don't have anything in between this kind of 1,050 and 1,200.
Yeah, and there's been another area that I definitely want to point to also that's been really hot as of late, right? Where is that, Chad? I'm sure you guys know. That's in solar. Solar got charged up last week. And look at this takeoff, guys. This is why I always look at industries, because it lets me know, right? This is a pretty good takeoff off of that level, right? And of course, the leader taking the way, First Solar, all the way up there to 280s. This is actually on my radar for potential short now, because a lot of times solar goes rocketing up and then comes crashing back down. You can see this often in the daily chart. When you get these kind of big runs, what happens usually is an extended pullback. So big run, extended pullback, big run, extended pullback, right? Big run, pullback, run, pull. That's just how it plays, right? So now I'm looking for, is this the topping action, or can we get to 300? So that's one thing that I got to keep in mind, because I always see those kind of whole dollars above. So this stock has run 1, 2, 3 times. It could do that one more lift before it really starts breaking down. So it doesn't mean I need to chase after it, but it does mean that the potential is for this to start topping out and slowing down. I'll keep on watch for solar. And it also gives me the potential to maybe play it to just the 300 on a long and then looking to reverse. We'll see what happens there on First Solar. All right, there's a lot of stocks being mentioned in the chat. Say hello, especially if you're new to the show or for some reason you're catching us for the first time. Tell us who you are, what do you like to trade, what stocks you're watching out there. But of course, we got to talk about none other than Scott. You know what time it is. We're always doing great events here at Trade the Pool, and we got another great event for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and throw the link here in the description so you guys have that link. Check out the deep dive June 3rd, all day long, guys. No BS, live. We'll be trading. I'll be there with Michael, of course. June 3rd, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. All that action just for you guys. Tune in, hit the like button, and of course, put your details down there at the link. Just threw it up there, and we also have it in the description below. I'm excited about that. I definitely always love to learn. I still to this day learn from different traders. That's why you guys always hear me asking Scott questions, because at the end of the day, I learn from Scott just like you guys do.
And don't forget the giveaways. There's going to be some giveaways on that deep dive.
That's the little secret extra that you guys get if you guys show up, right? Of course, you got to show up for the giveaways, man. And I mean, we all could use an account or two just to kind of give some shots, right? So, hey, we'll see you guys out there, and let us know, guys, that you guys will be there. One way you can do that, of course, is just hitting the share button, or just put a tweet out with that link, guys. It'll definitely do us a solid, and to show us that you will be there ready to go. No BS. Live trading, baby. Let's get after the action today. We'll see what I can come up with. I'll tell you one thing, Scott. I'm going to start stepping up to the plate here. I felt like, you guys know I took a couple weeks, like months off, right? I had the twins, right? And then now I've been slowly working my way up in sizing, getting back to what I can do, right? So now it's time to go ahead, and I've played in and out. Now it's time to start sizing up and sticking towards a new standard, right? When you always size up, it's going to kind of throw things off. So when I usually size up the first day, the idea here is just to end green. Even small green will give me the confidence that I can continue at this size and keep battling through. This is what I like to do always when I first step up. I always know that's usually when you take the biggest punch. So I'm gonna play smart today. I'm gonna battle, and we'll see what we come up with. All right, Scott, we're almost towards that. It's 9:17. Really excited to get to the market today. Whenever I have a day off, I'm always like, man, when's the market opening up again? But let's take a look to see what we find today. Of course, DraftKings is out there. A lot of the smaller names. I don't see too many of the normal names, but definitely GameStop going to be on the radar with the action that's out there. A stock that's been really strong also in tech is Qualcomm. And this is all based on kind of, I think, AI chips and seeing them really push on their chips. And you can see it. It was down here in November, all the way down to the 113s. I was struggling on why it was not getting the love. And now it's gotten the love since then. Since November, this is up about 81%. That just goes to show me, right? There's certain stocks and semiconductors that you guys can be looking for to maybe find some value. One that was on the radar right before I kind of stopped trading a lot in the early January was like SMCI. And now look where it's at, right? That had a huge pop early, has gone sideways, big trend line here. Can this make a move to 950? It's on the radar. I'll tell you that much at least, guys. Catching you guys in the chat. What's going on out there? How we doing? We got Kevin in the house. The Boogie Woogie. Let's see what's out there. Ralph. All right, let's take a look at some of the stocks that you guys are throwing up there. I'm seeing EMPH, MU. You got DraftKings, a bunch of different names being mentioned in the chat there. Apple. What do you like from this?
Let me get on Kevin's one. What's Kevin got there? RL. Ralph Lauren.
Okay, let's take a look, Scott. What you got there?
So Ralph Lauren, just looking at the kind of 10 minutes, what's been going on. Let's just, we zoom out a little bit further. These lows down here, right? These lows coming off. First swing, always important for me in terms of what we're looking at. And the idea is we're trading this gap if we can, right? You're asking me, obviously, we are at 173. This is a benchmark for me. It should be an area of resistance for a full pullback to a buy-side pull. That buy-side pull currently is sitting about 169. There's a lower one because we had those earnings and we pumped up off those earnings, right? So there is a lower one down here at 162. So if we crack 168 or 167 there, we could fill this gap back down to where we come from. But what it was doing prior to those earnings seems to have just continued if we not ignore that spike down and the pump back up to where we was. So for me, I have a benchmark 2 sitting up there. It's not normally a quick thing with these kind of stocks. With small caps, this can happen in a day or 2 or 3 to get up to benchmark. It can happen in a one pre-market session on small caps. But with these, it could take a little bit longer. So I'd be looking for kind of these pullbacks to the pink moving averages and the buy side pulls to hold for opportunities to long. Obviously, the risk is that first attempt there at 168. If that fails, that we fill a gap. But ultimately, just looking for a pullback to get into that long and hoping for the 182.50 or the 187.50 kind of area to get to. That's Ralph Lauren for you.
All right. I'm also watching an interesting one today. It's a newer play. Have you heard about Viking Holdings, Scott?
I've
you know what this one is? Yeah, it's a cruise line, of course. You guys know it.
Yeah.
This is a brand new one, guys, and it's been trading, guys. So it's something that I'll definitely be watching. Can it get back above 31? We'll see. VIK. I'm also taking a look at the cruise lines together, right? Because if that one wants to jump, probably the cruise lines will jump with it too. I think one thing that can help the cruise lines as of late is prices on oil starting to come down, right? And if that can help, well, that's definitely something to watch for. We're at 78s, right? We were battling. We were above 85 in April 4th. Now we're battling just to try to get back up above 80. So maybe this actually leaves room for us to make our way back to 72s and 70 on WTI on crude. and start to see these stocks get a little bit of a lift off of that, right? Cheaper oil usually helps these out. So we'll see what happens now. Can this start to get going on the weekly? I'll see what happens on Carnival Cruise Line, NCLH, right? And of course, the leader in the bunch, RCL, that can't be stopped, man. I still remember when I wanted to buy this stock after I went on a cruise myself back in May here, right over here in 2020. Right after that, it kind of came back down. May 22, I went on a cruise and boom, Royal Caribbean started kicking off. And I just had some family member come back on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and they said it was just as popular as it's ever been, man. So I don't see this stopping anytime soon. We'll see what happens in some leisure plays. Airbnb getting an upgrade today tells me also that I want to watch this space. So hey, we'll see what happens on Airbnb. American Airlines came back down to that 14 where we played it. I even played it on this 14 break. It's back to 14. I might try to go after it today. We'll see what we get. All right, catching up some action in the chat. What's going on out there, guys? How are we doing?
Can we look at BitX there for Ralph? What have we got there? Hey,
Yeah.
Scott Steve, how are you doing? That's right. Quick look at BitX then. Let's see what we've got. In terms of liquidity pools, we've just been in one a few days back for the sell side. So that's the sell side up there currently. Looks like it's currently in control, doesn't it? And then to the buy side, let's see how these have been working. So from the low to the high there, one here. So we're going to acknowledge that. Second one put in. Yep, that's fine. So we're just moving along now to see where that next one is. This one we missed, right? So we didn't come back for it, didn't need it. So now we're looking at this guy here around 41.5 to 38 on the buy side. So buy side liquidity sitting just below where we are. To see if we can get back down there. So I'd prefer kind of 41.5, push in perhaps 40.5, and then to work our way out of it to either retest this sell side liquidity pool or to go and try and break it with more momentum coming in above 52. But at the minute, kind of stuck between the two. So just looking for a further dip in there for a bit more edge on BITX there for you, Ralph.
All right, let's take a look. How do you feel about overall market here, Scott? Just the action overall. I mean, I feel like we've definitely been kind of extended, just been hanging out towards the top. And I think this is leaving room for maybe a potential turnaround here in the Qs and the SPY. I mean, we've been kind of just grinding higher. So I don't think this is going to be maybe a big turnaround, but something to just start looking at because I feel like it's been on a nice run. You've had that sideways. Going to be all dependent, I think, on how technology continues to push the limits, or do we start to see these start to crumble a little bit? And I think that's what you'll be watching. Apple will be in play. Can it get to 200? It's trying. It's getting near the resistance here where it struggled in the past in the 196 and 199. We're at 192, and it's come fast since 170, right? So we could see a little bit of a turnaround there. TSM is one also to watch to see if it continues to lift. Of course, when we talk about the semiconductors, we look a lot at SMH, right? Talked about that last week. Scott was asking on how do I maybe play the NVIDIA play without playing NVIDIA? This one, not a bad looking chart, right? I mean, this could have been a way to come after it and starting to get the lift and having bigger exposure to different names like TSM, AVGO, ASML, AMD, Qualcomm. Those are all names that haven't been doing bad, right? AMD is actually on the radar right now for that 170 break, but we'll see what happens. ASML also bouncing back, AVGO with a setup. So these tech names look very strong at the moment. That's why I'm starting to pay attention to them to see if they can start to turn around. I'll first wait to see the breakdown. We'll see what happens there. All right, a lot of action. It's 9:25. We still got about 5 minutes here, so we can take a look. Today, we're also going to be talking about technical indicators. And I also, for some reason, just want to throw out the question. You guys out there, is there a technical indicator that you do not understand that you maybe would want to understand? Go ahead and throw it up in the chat. I'll work it even during the show to try to help you guys understand and break down that technical indicator. We could take a look at different actions. We'll be talking about some indicators coming up and how you guys can really be using them to try to give you a benefit in trading. Like always, I talk about having tools. Gotta have tools to play. All right,
I've
let's see
got
what else is going on.
OKLA.
What you got, Scott?
Just OKLA here. OKLO, Okla Inc. And it's been working its way through. So it's just over a couple of days now. So like I said, we can get this bell curve forming before it gets up to kind of 14 and then runs down. But right now at the moment, let's undo that. Right now at the moment, benchmark or number one is holding the moving averages twice on the switch on and one before. And also kind of buy side liquidity pools holding here. So it would be nice if we could get a push down into kind of 11 and test these moving averages again and the buy side pull and then work out on volume. If we don't, then there's a gap here, bogey level at 12.50 and then 13 kind of 75 up to $14 if we can get it on volume. But it would need to be a kind of day when was that? Day like Friday. In order to get up to there today. So we'll see if OKLO still has the momentum to do that. All right. FSLR, you've got that covered. And yeah. Swin as well. Swin, this is one that's been coming down and down and down. It popped on the scanners this morning. I do love it when it does this, right? It gets absolutely smashed, comes down, then just starts resting at the bottom, and then actually would have made a buy side pull right there. And I love that. If that's on the scanners like on this day on Tuesday and I can catch that, then that's brilliant because it's the best risk reward you can get to see it work out. Now today it is working out of that what I call the manipulation zone and accumulation zone. So if we can get this to run today, this has got $6 on it. Sell side liquidity up at 7, benchmark 2 up there at 8. So we'll keep an eye on Swin as well, see if we can get that on the tape. 2 minutes to the open, 1.5.
All right, we're getting a question in the chat about pre-market buying for trade the pool. And yes, you can do trade the pool. You can buy in the pre-market. I could put an order in right now if I wanted to, guys. And that's what it's all about, guys, right? Giving you guys the access. I would definitely check out the website so you can understand more and more. If you haven't done so already, just go to our website and check it out, guys. I'm throwing it up in the chat there. You guys hit that link.
All right, what are we concentrating on the open?
All right, out the open, I'm looking at First Solar. A lot of this is going to be looking for a pop and then a drop. We'll see if we can get it here, guys. Let's come after it. Let's see what we got here. You guys know what it is. It's time to get after it. We got about, 30 seconds here. But like always, guys, get after it. See what you can come up with. And if you guys have any stock you guys want us to take a peek at least let you guys see what we're seeing. We'll let you guys know. Throw it up there. We'll find out. First Solar, can I get a little pop to like 280, 281, and then a quick drop? That's what I'm looking for because, of course, shorts are probably in control right now from the 280 spot, watching this drop fast.
It's time!
All right, let's get after it, guys. Let's see what we can come up with.
All right. NQ undecided on the open right now, just milling around. Looks like he wants to push to the downside, but not quite sure. Tesla deep into its buy side liquidity pool for me here. POAI in decision as well.
GME down big, got the gates there. I'm going to keep a watch on that, but First Solar is my first watch here. Looking for like 280s for the first entry here.
Right, switching that tape on now, see if we can get some, see if that noise has calmed down a little bit from the open.
No touch there. GME down off the 24, big resistance in that 24. So let me know if you guys see that cross at 24. I definitely will keep that on the radar. First Solar just fighting here and not getting up to the level that I wanted to get short off of the 280 spot. It's already back down to 275. Could just break here and start to let go. So that is what it is. We'll find out. Keeping my watch on some solar names to see if they start to go red. SPWR is another one that I could look at, but that's actually starting the day green there. We'll see what happens. NVIDIA up out the gates.
I'm looking at NNE here. NNE just on the tape a little bit, not a huge amount. So let's see what you can do here. Coming out the buy side, volume on these moving averages as well. So what do we got to break here? So there's a clear kind of trend line here that's going to have to bust above. So ignoring any kind of tape at the moment, unless I can get out of that. POAI was also on there a little bit, but not enough to get it up to the sell side liquidity port up 256. So still listening out, see if we can get some more volume on those two at the moment. SWIN, again, like I said, trying to attempt to get out of this manipulation zone in order to try and take something from that. So I'm going to put an alert up at 5, see if we can get something on that. What do you got, Mitch?
NVIDIA ripping here, man. Strong move out the gates here, guys. That's how it is sometimes, guys. So just be careful out there. Definitely seeing some strength. I'm even canceling my FSLR because when NVIDIA does that move, it's probably going to try to affect the Qs. The Qs are actually coming down right now. That gives me an interesting outlook there, but definitely NVIDIA. Nice push there, 1100s. And who knows, maybe it gets to that 1200 today. Scott, the way that thing's looking, that probably affect AMD, and you guys can see it. It tried to get to 170 there, but pulling right back down. So just be careful out there. A lot of action. I'm trying to find a quick trade out the gates here. First Solar still just holding on to that 279. Got to the 279.50 range. We'll see what happens here. And a lot of action out the gates. Looking at what you guys are mentioning in the chat, throw them up there if you guys see anything. Good morning. It's good to see you, future day trader. Jack, what's up, RA? What are you guys looking
Wilson.
at? In the Air Force? That's awesome. Hey, well, I appreciate the service. That's for sure. Noli, what's going on, guys? All right, let's see if First Solar can make one more kind of drive, and then eventually I can get shorted. I definitely don't want to jump it right now because it just feels like it's bunching up. You can test some of those shorts in the pre-market. That's what I feel right now. I'm waiting for the action here, guys. OKLO, how's that one doing? Pulled back, got to 1220s there, and then started to pull back there. Looking around to see what's showing up on my scanners here. LIDR is one that I see showing up. That one doesn't look too bad. LIDR, we're talking LiDAR plays up there to the 440s. We'll see if this one can keep moving here. BitF showing up, Bit Farms. And what happened to my lovely Clean Spark? Clean Spark up there at 18. Big move, trying to get back up there. Definitely got hit hard on a couple days last week, but I think this could get back through the 1850s, maybe make that run again to 20. So we'll see what happens right now. Keeping an eye for a pullback. How's Mara? There's a nice little pullback. We'll see if this gets wiped out a little bit here. First Solar, still trying to keep an eye on First Solar here. Struggling here. Love to see that one pop here into the 280s and then come right back down. GME back down fast there, guys. All right, looking around, see the sectors that are making moves. I got energy at the top, communication, utilities, downside, defensive, healthcare, and cyclical names. Energy to the upside seems to be a play for me to watch. Valero already making a move. That was one of my stocks to watch this morning. Definitely in the energy. Look at that move up there to 164.75. So I'm going to go ahead and just look for a little bit of a pullback back towards the VWAP. That's around 163.50s. If that could happen, I will definitely try to take a shot on this. I'm going to set an alert here for one below 164. Don't want to chase it. but definitely interested in this play today. GME pulling back to 22 there. First Solar coming right back down and just not being able to get through the 280 spot. So it's been fighting on the VWAP, a lot of shorts there. So now I can determine, do I want to just short 275? That's what I got to kind of determine right now. There's the attempt flush down. Let's see if this can just work its way back. Try to trap some trades right out the gate. Valero, we'll see if that pulls back here. XLE kind of doing a very similar move. MPC is another one that I kind of like in the oil game. DraftKings, come on, die. DraftKings not bad, man. Same thing for DraftKings. I'm looking for a little bit of a pushback. I feel like too many people are trying to jump on these shorts right out the gates, and I can't blame them because they did come down on the first action, right? Now I'm looking for them to come back and kind of trap some shorts and then get short on that. But hey, if you get that DraftKings and it just falls down there, I won't be mad at you. I like the daily. The daily tells me that this is starting to break.
Market's coming down into, let's have a quick look at the NASDAQ. Where are you? MQ. Yeah, just tapped into its buy side liquidity here. It's got further to go potentially, but keeping an eye on it. See if we can't get anything moving around. Currently, Tesla's off exactly the same kind of price action, just tanking off of the open. As NVDA just on the up there. It's taking a little bit of a pause now, NVIDIA, actually. Let's take a look.
First Solar working its way back.
Yep, no, NVDA still sitting up there. Got you on GMA.
Yeah, I'm looking around, guys. I'm looking all around. AMD here on the pullback. NVIDIA still holding up there. And so that's the one thing to keep in mind. But I'm looking around to see what I can come after. First Solar is definitely the one that I'm watching right now. I'd like to see a pop go towards this 280, 281, and then come right back down. Let's just keep it on right now to see if we can get this pop in the next couple minutes. It's got another alert there, so just kind of continuing to watch what's making moves. All right, there's another battle in the VWAP there. A little part of me feels like going after First Solar here, but been waiting for that 280.
Tape's quiet this morning.
Yeah.
POAI was on there. POAI, quick look at that. I think that was attempting to get to its sell side but failed. So we had 252. So the 250 round number shorted into, and another push back down there into the buy side pull here for POAI. Wilson, you get any of that?
Watching Apple. Valero giving me that attempt here on the VWAP. I don't mind this at all here. Let me see if I can get 163.50s on the pullback right now. Order out there for 163.50s, and I can add another 10. I'm trying to size into today, so see if I can really start getting some here. First entry, 163.50s down to 163.25 is what I want to do. So let's go ahead. Let's just put it out there. 163. Let's do 30. So I'm just looking for pullback ads here on Valero to try to get in there. Orders are out. Limits are out. See if I can get the starter and really get this Valero. I actually really like this move. I just need to pull back the tiniest amount here, and then I can jump into the party. All right, keeping a look at First Solar. First Solar already down to the 275, so this might just wash out through that 275 spot. So now if I want to risk, the risk is like 278 here. Still like this because the downside action could be like 20-something bucks. So would love for it to try to trap on the 1 minute and work on the 5. That's a move back here to this kind of 280 rejection. Missed LiDAR by 2 cents. Hey, that happens to the best of us. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. All right, Valero, I'm thinking to get the fills here. Let's see. All right, looking around, guys. How we doing out there? MD, what's going on, man? What are you looking at? Kevin looking at coin moving down. Still no action there, an entry on Valero. So I'm going to go ahead and get a starter here in a second here. I'm trying to at least just get a piece. Spread's about 20 cents. Okay. Wilson.
You catch that 250 Wilson on POAI? That was a sweet touch. Okay, hello. Another attempt out of its buy side. So it's 2 attempts up now it's had. This one into its sell side, I imagine. That looks almost pinpoint perfect into its sell side. So yeah, that's trapped. It's going to need to do one or the other now. There is obviously what is that, about $1.50 in the bounce between the two, but we are trapped sell side and buy side on OKLO now, so we'll keep an eye and alert on that. See if we get above 212, then we could push higher up to those bigger numbers up there, 13.14.
All right, NNE for a push here to get short on First Solar.
NNE just resting in buy side at the moment, so listen out for that. There's not a lot on the tape this morning. It is really quiet.
Valero, no fills on that. All right, guys, starter on First Solar. Only got 5 shares there. Looking to add at like 278. Just went 5 shares. Just get the starter there. Right around at this spot here. See my entry there. I got 275.69. So closer towards the bottom of this candle here. Let's just start. Let's see if I can get some more here. And that 278 rejection one more time. Not going through that 280. So you see the resistance starting to build here. Looking for a little bit of a rejection from this area. All right,
Wilson,
looking around,
out
guys. Out half. There you go.
Nice.
How is that LIDR doing there? What you looking at here with POA?
Yeah, POAI was just shy of my 250 kind of 6 there. What did he get? 250? Yeah, it did get 250. Unfortunately, but good on Wilson for getting in there. OKLO and LIDR. So OKLO now battling with this sell side. That's what just popped off on the scanner. It's whether or not we can get above here with momentum on the tape. Nothing on it at the moment. But we do have a gap there. We do have that gap sitting here. Else we've got a short on our hands from the 12s.
All right, just added a little bit there on First Solar. Now I got 10 shares. I want to see this really just let go now. All right, starting to let go.
Nvidia looking for its VWAP by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Let's go back to Valero. And no entries just yet, but I have a feeling we could get a little bit of a pullback here. I'm pulling it back a little bit closer towards the 163s just because it's been hanging out here for a little bit, so it could just scoop down and then try to find some buyers. That's what I'm looking at. Going back to First Solar. Got about 10 shares right now. I want to add on the short side. Not much going on here, so maybe it goes for the knockdown here. So I'm going to try to add here and then just try to kill it. If I need to, I can get out. All right, just added there. Now it's starting to come down. Now anything on pops, I can just add to this short here. So I'm going to go ahead and set up those add. 276 would be an add for sure. And so I'm putting 276 out already to 277. Ads out there starting to come down. Now I'm really starting to hammer down on this. I do want to add, but on pops. So the 90 EMA is a good level that I look to short off of. So right there, you see that light blue line. I'm starting to set stocks to go back towards that. And you guys can see it starting to get in the green, 275 40s, but only got the 10 shares. 15. I want more. I want like 20, 30 here. First Solar starting to break a little bit here. Now I really wanted to just crack down. Five-minute low around the 275.61. You can see a wick right into that area. I want to see this area reject, not get above VWAP now, and then really take down that 272 level.
Okla on the tape popped its sell side. That momentum's coming in, so let's see how far we can get. 1250 is the bogey level, so we can pause there. If not, it's looking at 1380, so we'll see. 1250 is likely to get shorted into, being the $0.50 number there, so we'll see. That is a break above pre-market highs and current session highs for that, and so we'll see how far that's got. POA Wilson just breaking that first buy side liquidity pool. Next one down here, 190.
All right, First Solar just dropping now, guys. So I'm going to hold on to the amount that I have here and try to make like, 100, 200 bucks on this. But let's see it just tank now. I don't even want to see it back by that box. Looking for the real flush now. First move I see is around the 269, 270s, and then I could see it going to 260. $273s showing up here. Valero, nice little move there. What am I seeing down big today? Celsius, man, the defensive area getting hit hard, and this is energy drink getting hit from 96 down to 83s. So big hit there. Coke getting hit hard too? Could be. Taking a look. Monster. How's Cocoa Life? It's actually doing well. It's just an investment type of stock that I've been keeping an eye on. Vita Coco. Valero, not looking too bad there, man. That's back to 164.50s. I just didn't get it on the pullback. LIDR. I'm looking around. I don't see too many of the smaller names making moves today. No Sun Power. I push on my First Solar here. There you guys see it. Might get some ads here. There we go. Got one more ad there. For Solar coming back. Now I can see rejections at 278. Really 280s now the risk. Don't want it back up there because then you could squeeze up there. So now starting to hammer down, and I would like to see that 272 taken out on the downside. What I got now? I got 275, 75s, 20 shares. Got 5 shares to add at 277, 78, guys. Yeah, it's important, Boogie Woogie. Sometimes, you don't need 1,000 shares on First Solar. Let's just be honest. This stock is moving easily $6 in about 2 minutes. So I don't need 1,000 shares. I can still play with 20, 30, 40, 50 shares. It's still going to make a lot because of the daily range on a stock like this. And yes, traders will always show off, oh, I did 10,000 shares on this and 10,000 shares on that. But the truth is, it's all about just results and consistency. That's one thing you'll see from me that I'm always focused on. It's not one, I always say this line, and I think it's an important line. It's helped me so much in trading. So I'm going to try to slow down when I say this. I try not to let one trade make me, and I try not to let one trade break me. What you got? What you got for me, Scott? Zim out on BE? Zim? What you got there?
Swing on the short side. Couldn't make it out of the manipulation zone there. I was hoping we'd get a gap fill there, so that's not working. But like I said, it's just so quiet on the tape. I don't have anything. It's like they took another day off in the small cap land here. It's
just added a short. But yeah, that's my favorite. One of my favorite lines in trading. Let's not let one trade make us or break us, right? Because the truth is if one trade makes or break us, then I consider that gamble. That's the biggest thing there, right? Is I'm not here just to gamble. If I want to gamble, I mean, honestly, I have DraftKings in this state. I can just do that, right? We'll see what happens here. Stepping up to the plate in First Solar, 275.80s, around the 276 spot. Want to see this reject here and start to come back through the low of the day. I will take some profits and then continue to tackle it. Got about 25 shares. Let's work it up here. Let's see if I can get one more entry here towards the 277 to 278s. But you can see this just washing now. You can see how it's just been rejecting the 277s, and now it can just really reject hard here. So I'm trying to go after it off the 277, 278s now. All right, just added one more time there. Now got 30 shares, 275, 78. Coming slow, but coming after it, guys. Building it up, guys. Like the way this is looking on the 5-minute. Now we're starting to reject kind of the first opening candle at 277, 278 range. So I know kind of like back above 278, I kind of want to get out. So now I can really start sizing in based off the 278 spot. So I'm looking for like 276 on ads here. I'm going to even put some out there. Let's do 276 20s out, orders out. And now we're going to look for the real takedown here in First Solar. See if I can get it, guys. In the green, let's go. Somebody hit the flush. Missed money is better than lost money. Oh, Boogie, you're trying to, yeah, I love that one. I love that one. Missed money is better than lost money. That actually helps me today with Valero, right? Because I'm gonna look back at Valero and be like, oh man, should have grabbed that Valero VWAP. But hey, it's better than lost money. That's 100% true. First Solar, let's take a look there. Now 275 starting to show up and looking like it could break the 274, go through the low of the day, which is really what I'm looking for. And then things can really start looking great. Exactly. My share size is heavily dependent on range and volatility. Love that mention, R.A. Wilson. Not too many newer traders focus on that, right? If I'm trading a stock that moves $10, do I really need 1,000 shares? Probably not. This is why one of the indicators that we can talk about a little bit later today is called the average true range, the ATR. And that's an interesting one to use. Here's First Solar now down to 273s, 86. I could come after it now and add, but I think we've done enough. We've done 30. I'm canceling the ads. Now just looking for the takedown and really looking for this to get through the low of the day, which is this 272. I can see it get into like the 270 spot on that. So I'm going to already have orders out here to take like half off there. And then just the remainder, just let it work for the remainder of the day. 271 I'll take. I'm good with 271. It's about $4, 15 bucks. It's going to be like 60, 70s. Let's see what we can get here. What I like about this is that this could be like an all day fade. If it really breaks here, I feel like it could be an all day. All right, looking around to see technology's down, Nvidia still holding in there, AMD kind of rejecting the VWAP, Q's pretty weak, and that's actually a good sign for solar to flip here. So I would like to see solar get weak, but that's just me because I'm shorting on it. We'll see what happens there. SunPower is probably one of the best names right now in solar, at least having a plus move. We'll see if that turns around. All right, guys, looking around to see what is making moves. I'm going to go through my list here. Clean Spark back to 1793s. Multiple times they try to get to the 18 spot. I wonder how Bitcoin's doing today in those Bitcoin stocks, because it's definitely one to watch. Mara here battling and battling. I think the Qs are going to depend on this too. It's trying to work its way back, but I feel like we might have a little bit of weakness in today. Success, one that I'm watching right here for potential long here. This will be a quick trade though. Taking a look here. 5 minute has it right off this kind of 240 spot. I'm gonna look for a cut down to 2530s and then a recovery through the 2550s. For solar 270, 250s, I'm just going to continue to watch that now. Come on, one more cut down here. Kind of the 36 range and then right back up to 2550s. It's kind of how the way I see it right now. If I do go after this, I got to go a little bit bigger size and quick into the trade. Did it hit 36 yet? No, 38s. It's already coming back there. I got to determine if I want to come after it here. It's 38s, back to the 30s, and then come right back around. 37, still no 36 there showing up yet.
Kevin short on coin.
You're short on coin. That's interesting. DraftKings. Boom. How is DraftKings doing now? Ooh, 3580s. That thing was a nice little opening short. There's Scott. There it goes. It went to 37. It's back up. Success to the 2550s here. If I want to come after it, I got to come after it now at the 2540s now. I missed that one. I'm just going to hold off on it right there. That was a little bit of a struggle there. Should have come after it, but hey, that's how it is. First Solar continuing to work in my direction here. So now it's time to maybe take a shot here and then hold break even on the rest. Just want to go for a little bit more, see what I can get. Looking for above 273s for ads and then just trying to tackle this to the 270s. Just kind of let go, especially if we get a down move in the Qs here. That's why I'm looking at Success also. Nvidia's holding on. That thing's a monster. Tesla's pretty weak today, guys. That's interesting. How'd that Viking one do? It's pulled back to the 30s. CCL, NCLH, not looking too bad there on the cruise lines. I like NCLH. It's not a bad one to watch today. Airbnb had that price raise. XRT was one I was trying to play last week. That's made a little bit of a pullback here. A lot of retail stocks coming in, starting to shake this up there. First Solar, what's up, man? There you go, down to 272. Let's flush this thing. All right, what else is out there, guys? Long on FedEx being mentioned out there.
I'm playing with that Tesla ETF today, Mitch. I'm TSLT. Remember we spoke about the Nvidia one? Is another way to play the NVDL kind of thing. Yeah, just seeing what it's like if I'm in them via the ETF rather than the underlying.
Hey, I can't blame you on that one. There's First Solar down to 271.85. Let's see if we can really get this to dump towards the 270 spot. Then I can take half off there, start to pay myself. It's looking good. Just looking for the real cut down here. 5 minutes, you can see how it's just been creating this kind of turn here. It could come back, and so I'm at that point where I might have to take some profits because it's just not going fast at 270. Q's coming back fast. With that being mentioned, let's go ahead. Let's just take some profits here and then look for it to continue to work down, because this could easily come back to 276 spot. Surely the Q's coming back. It's putting some pressure on me right now. You can see it right here, 458, really fast there. That might have helped the SOXS come right back towards that level there. This is 25.35s. Trying to be patient with First Solar, because the next flush could be that real flush that really makes me my money. So with that being said, let's just set a stop and let this kind of continue to work here.
Just got short honors at 1.9, looking for 1.2 and then 70 cents.
Q's coming back a little bit here. I'm setting a stop protection just in case we get a rip up in First Solar, because I don't want to kind of keep watching this. I want to take my eyes off and go look elsewhere. Of course, I'm trying to expand the wins and losses too. So like I could run to 70. Normally that's like a nice little profit, but I'm trying to push it. So let's keep letting it work. Let the trade work right now. Valero back to 163.40s. Q's trying to work its way back. So is AMD. Qualcomm was red out the gates there. Could reject also. Seeing a lot of weakness around, and Nvidia is strong but not ripping. How's Apple? Also not the strongest chart. Kind of like where I'm at right now in the solar short game. GME, nada. Nada. AAL. Looking at the cruise lines here. Not much there, man. All right, let's take a look at the sectors here. Communication services, real estate now leading in the red, healthcare, industrials, big red there, defensives, big red all around on there. So going to look out there to see what's going on. Costco maybe taking a little bit of a hit there. It's back to the A10s. Walmart is definitely coming down a little bit. Celsius was one that I saw earlier week. These could start to crash a little bit. Coke, definitely on the radar. It's pulling back here. Defensive names really getting hit hard, man. PG. So that means it could be on the growth game, but also not seeing technology rip. It's red too. Tough day out there right now. First Solar went down in the 272 spot, then rejected the down move. So I'm just trying to hang in there, guys. The match stock.
That could be your ticker.
They always refer to it. This is Mitch, right? I'm trading the Mitch. LIDR with the pullback to 4 recovery here coming in. LIDR. I like the bunch up on the daily. It's interesting off the 4. There's definitely some algos probably looking at that level. Look at the hourly chart. You can see how it holds these pullbacks into this area right here. So boom, somewhere in that space, definitely finding some buyers. We'll see what happens on that one. First Solar, let's go. Come on, flush here. Flush to the 270 so I can take some profits and finally take a little bit of the pressure off, right? Let's do 10 shares here on a move through the 271. Just to try to take some of the pressure off, pay myself. Hasn't been a bad trade. Just working it. All right.
Mio is asking, where's the giveaway?
Where's
the giveaway is on the deep dive.
Stuff?
The deep dive on June 3rd.
The cat wants to know. Cat's out the hat, they say, right? Well, there you go. I'll tell you where. The cat will be out the hat June 3rd. So stick around, guys. Link in the description. Hit that link, guys. Arm is strong, says Noli. Okay. See you, Noli. All day fader on First Solar. Could it be? Q's trying to keep pushing here. I want to see the Q's reject, come right back down, start washing. That's what I kind of need right here. So this could be a way that I could go against success and then kind of reject it, right? And kind of hedge my bet here. But, you know, those are things that I can work on, right? I always think about things that I can work on. Hedging is one of those. All right,
Take a look at Arnaz. Quick look at Arnaz before you got that. You taking profits there?
No, in a second I should. It just more has to break towards that 270.
Cool. So just looking at Arnaz on the 1 hour, I have a benchmark there sitting up there. It took around about $2, and then looking at it on a 2 minute, I have sell side liquidity that is just kind of looking at now at 190. So that would be the safety blanket on the short side, with the buy side at kind of 170 to 163 on Arnaz at the moment. So we'll see what that got. whether or not this sell side liquidity can hold. We are under the benchmark. So, but again, I'm just not hearing anything on the tape on the long side today, and everything is just fading for a little bit of short. It's not really doing anything on the small cap. Oh, there's SWM, but that's what we was looking for a potential breakout of this zone. So that's obviously refused. We'll redraw that if that ever comes back on. But for the moment, there's no play there either. Sorry, Mitch, back to you, man.
Yeah, looking around here, just trying to keep an eye on this First Solar position as the Qs are trying to work their way back, but keep running into a little bit of a wall there. So that's the big watch for me. If I see the Qs just take off here, I might just take the money and run in First Solar. But other than that, if I can see the Qs really come right back towards 458s, that's going to give me confidence to keep holding First Solar. So you can see here on the 5-minute, what are we getting? We're getting a trend of what? Higher, lower highs, right? So I can draw this line now and start trying to respect this line. So we keep coming down towards this level here, and we're not really breaking it. So I can put that as the red. Kind of, I want to see a 5-minute close below that. Below that could be the wash. So that's like a 272, 271 5-minute close. That's getting much on that First Solar. It's going to be a lot on this Qs, man. I see the Qs just battling around. Success is one way that I could play this to if it wants to keep coming down. That's this 2520 reversal back up through the 2550s going towards 26. I don't mind it here. See if I can get a little bit of peace here.
No worries, Scott.
All right, Q's starting to get a little bit of weak here. Let's see if it starts to make the move now. Like to see one more drop in Success, and then I'm going to come after it here. It's already kind of taking off here, so just looking for a little bit of a pullback. Qs, will the Qs drop? First Solar popping a little bit off of that, and so I got to go watch First Solar because that's the important play right now. See the 5-minute coming right back. The Q's dropping. I got to be a little bit careful just to get a little wick out here, and then all of a sudden it's back down. So I got to give myself a little bit of risk. I'm still stuck a little bit in the middle. That's one thing that I can see from this position. Because if I was closer towards the 278, 279s, then I could just kind of hold, break even. But I do got to still risk a little bit here. Big thing is the Q's keep playing around here. So you see the Q's off this VWAP. Trying to see if we're going to come back down to this bottom support or start working our way back through the VWAP. Move back down is what I'm looking at. Makes sense, but hey, things that make sense don't always work, right? Success. Let's take a look at that. I like that action now. I'll take a $30 risk here. Got in there. 25. Let's do 20s for the risk. Boom. Already set up there. So boom. Small trade there, but already in Success there. Got in right off the kind of the 30s level. Got the average at 33. Long Success. So opposite action of the Qs. We'll see if we can get it to go. Gotta go for focus on First Solar. What's going out there, team? How we looking at?
Trying to see if I can get Nvidia back into 108.
I'd like to see the Qs just flush here. Success back through 2550s is the sign of strength for me. That's one thing that I'll be watching. There we go. Nice little setup there. Just bunching, and I kind of like that because the Qs can just flush down, and then that could be the sign. Big thing I think is going to be Nvidia off the VWAP here. As for Solar trying to get me out here. For Solar going red, green to red, which I don't allow a lot of the times, but since I'm trying to get a little bit bigger sizing, I have to sometimes give myself a little bit of room. Definitely seeing the Qs just play around here, and I think that that's what's going on a little bit. See the Qs right off the VWAP just hanging out there, and that can go any direction. It could go Nvidia long, it could go Apple to the long side off the VWAP, or it could fade off of that. That's where trading, it's a lot of 50-50 shots sometimes. I feel like right now at this point, which way the market's going is hard to call. Covered Qs short on that dip. I see you, Jack. All right, guys, it's about 10:18. Smash the like. You guys enjoying the action?
Just got a starter on Nvidia there. Just tapped into 108.80s. Didn't quite get 108, but bit of confluence there with the VWAP, the moving averages, and a buy side pull. So
this is that move here for the Qs to kind of make the breakout attempt here. Might get a double bottom on that stock test, so trying to pull down a little bit, see if it can start to double bottom here on the 22s. Qs are trying to make that move there, guys. Let me make sure I'm protected here on both sides, right? Protection first, guys, then profits come. Seeing that kind of topping action on the Qs there. I kind of like that action there. Success here. What I got? 33s. Okay. Five-minute has a nice little hammer candle. I'd like to see the low hold, which is 25.20s, and then take off to 25.50s here on Success. I know I was going to take a little bit bigger shots today, so hey, time to step up to the plate and be a big boy here. Let's go ahead. Let's get after it. Now I got 500 shares, 25.31 there on Success. For Solar, looking for it to wash down back through. This is my shot for the day, guys. I'm taking it. Sometimes you got to take shots. That day's that day. All All right, starting to see that down action there. Need to see the Qs just let go now. Let go of that kind of moving average right below it. Start to really crumble. Sounds bad, but I'm looking for a red day, guys. At least red day for the market. Just hanging out right now, guys. There's the Qs getting a little red there.
Yeah, flush of red across everything.
Boom.
There.
Boom. I'm hammering down on First Solar, guys. I just stepped up to the plate big there. 50 shares, 275, 45s. Let's go, First Solar. Let's go. Let's go. Stepping up to the plate here, guys. Success also making a little bit of a move there. 25.40s. Want to see the spike go to 25.50s, 25.60s. That's going to be my first profit, somewhere in that 25.50 range. Then try to get it up to 26 on Success. First Solar, of course, is going to be that 270. I've been talking about it, trying to stay to the plan. Stick to the plan sometimes. It's so important. Let's see what happens here on the Qs. You did get that attempt flush. Then you get an attempt big candle here, right? So it's starting to speed up the market. Let's see what we got. What do you got there? Wilson taking a look at NVAX. NVAX. That's been hot for so long. And then with healthcare down the way it is, that's not a bad play, right? Healthcare down 0.8, leading the downside action. And definitely turning around on that NVAX. Ozempic, not big anymore. Hims actually up on that Ozempic's action there. So that's interesting. Hims is a little bit of a contrarian. Q's hanging out there. So you see here, this is the battle right now. This is like this rectangle right here. That's the battle. Q's trying to come back, guys. They're trying. You know the Q's, they fight hard. Sure, those NVIDIA traders just sticking on that VWAP. Man, are the NVIDIA traders watching that VWAP. That could be the algos, right? Let's be honest. Here's Success pulling back again with the Qs, right? Qs, man. They're coming back. It's definitely that mixed battle of a day right now. Apple trying to come back too, right? And so you have different plays you can play there. You could play some plus side, you can play some downside. That could be another way for me to hedge right now, is maybe playing some NVIDIA long. But these are all things that I'm just thinking about. This 5-minute lows, would like to see that hold on Success. The Qs. See how we're just chopping in that range right now? It could hold the VWAP and start to take off. That's why I'm a little bit concerned just watching it. Really like to see this trend line down here break. So the move towards this area is what could really be that red move. All right, guys, it's 10:25. Definitely smash the like. You guys are enjoying the action, seeing it all. And it's been a battle to stay in that First Solar. I'll tell you that much. Trying my best to just hang out and just battle here.
You're doing well compared to what's going on elsewhere, Mitch. You're doing well.
Yeah.
It looks
like always, Scott, right?
Like today, right?
Yeah, a lot of times, like, you know, one of the things is, Scott, is we're just trying to set ourselves up for success, right? We can't really necessarily know it. And I feel like that's all I'm trying to do today too, is battling in the mixed market, because it's a mixed noise right now. Not seeing the like button, not sure why. What's up, YouTube?
Yeah, I'm not a great lover of the bank holiday, the public holiday, the day after that, because even on the kind of Globex sessions that you're looking at, what was still open yesterday, other than the equities market, it just throws everything off just a little bit, and that's what I'm feeling today, is a little lack of catalyst, lack of news, and yeah, it's a difficult play today.
Yeah, difficult play indeed here, guys. Might get stopped out here in success. Don't really want to push it too much with the Qs just right at the top of the range. So I gave it a couple pennies more. I'm risking about 90 to 100 bucks, but that's fine because I'm expecting to make that back, right? And so I'm just trying to risk off of here and see what happens on the flip game here, because there is going to be a little bit of a flip. I'm keeping an eye on it. First Solar already letting go a little bit. I just need to see this just whop down to 270s. The Qs, man, the battle's on the Qs, right? Same thing could be said about the success, but like it's the Qs for me. It's the overall market here. And you can look at SPY. SPY is very similar charts, right? You can see how the SPY is a little bit closer to the not on the VWAP. It rejected that VWAP. That's also leaning me to the short side. So this is going to be a lot of it on that tech. And you know, it's the tech name, right? There she is. There she blows. You still you playing NVIDIA right now, Scott?
Yep. I'm
yeah. What are you seeing on there? Because it seems to me like a nice little pattern there. I mean, my rule of three says up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. That's the remaining downside action. Should hold there, at least from our rule. That's into this spot right here underneath it, right around that 11.10 range. So that's kind of like the area where I could see some buyers maybe stepping up. Now the big thing is, does it take kind of like this 118, 120 range on the upside?
Yeah, I just need another push here on NVIDIA. So I'm coming up from this buy side liquidity. There was the VWAP double push into it and the moving averages. So that was the reason for the entry. But obviously every one of these swings, and that's what I'm toying with now, is I want to break above 116 here because I had this sell side liquidity. So I will take it off if we can't get through there shortly. I don't want to see it pull back now again, really. But yeah, that's it's like I say, it's a difficult play.
The Qs just keep playing here, guys. There's so much playing off the 5 minute. It just keeps coming to the top end of the range. Slow down. Top end, slow down. Top end, slow down. First Solar down to the 274 spot. Come on, First Solar. I need a charge down here. I need dead batteries. Let's go, First Solar. Dead batteries today, man. Oh man, it's like the little Energizer bunny and you're just trying to hold the hands together here. Just hold them together. Stop clacking, man. Stop clacking. The old Energizer bunny. All right, guys, smash the like. You guys enjoy the action here. That's the important part, right, guys? Me trying to be transparent, show you guys the trading action, whether it be win or lose, right? And I think that's the important thing. Another thing is you guys saw it from the very early start. First Solar was one of those stocks I wanted to focus on today. I'm focusing on it. How did GameStop do, man? I wanted to take a peek at that. Oof, just been hanging out there. Q's trying to make that up move here. Let's see if they get it or not. It's a tough one there. Tough one all around today, guys. It's definitely kind of a slower day, just not seeing that much of an action. Small cap land, not doing too much either. LiDAR wasn't the worst one. I'm seeing that one get a little bit of a lift there. I'm looking around. There's this SMR. SMR, but industrial's down big today. And so I'm just keeping an eye on it. This is SMR. Diversified industrials have been doing well. There's some names that have been showing up there. Court Biotech. That thing had a rip today. Been just hanging out now.
I just took that video off. I don't look like we can get past that sell side.
Success, man.
110 to 116. That was it. That was it. We'll see what it's got now.
Q's trying to make that push there, and then it just kind of stops again, right? It's just playing tricks. NVIDIA trying to make the move there too, but it's definitely a little bit tricky right now. First Solar trying to start coming back, and that's not a good outlook there. See the 15 minutes here. So it's starting to go towards the 15-minute chart, not the 5-minute, not the 1 in my eyes. As we get deeper in the market, I'm starting to look at deeper time frames. And is this a buy the pullback opportunity on the 1 hour? It is off the 272. That's why I've been looking for that flush towards 270s. What's up out there in the US? We are all in food coma from steaks and burgers. Everyone's sunburnt and spending the first day of summer in the sun on Monday. I can't blame you. I'll tell you one thing. I see the sun out there shining out here in Florida. So I can't blame you on that mentality. And there were some burgers, that for sure, this weekend. All right, Success making a little bit of an undercut, trying to rally back, but it's all about the Qs, the Susie Qs, I like to call them. What's going to happen to Susie today? Man, this has been a battle today. I'm trying to step up in First Solar. Like, if there's one that I think I should step up when, it's First Solar. So let's just keep it going, guys. Let's step up to the plate today, guys. 275.47. Kind of like the you choose segment today, because I probably won't take too many other trades today. Just got to be safe, right? I always try to tell you guys. But in today, it's kind of like, should I add on First Solar or not add on First Solar? You guys throw a 1 if you guys feel I should add short. Throw a 2 if you guys feel, no, Mitch, be careful, stay away. Throw it up there, guys. I'll let you guys decide here on First Solar, because we're right in the near my spot here. What do you guys think? Throw it up in the chat, guys. Smash it up. You choosing, guys, the action today. Definitely, we'll play our little trailer here, but we're not going to take a new trade. It's on this one. Let us know. You guys choose. Choose the action, guys. What am I doing? What's going on there? Qs are starting to break a little bit there. That helps. We stepping up to the plate.
That's what I got on the Qs. It's been sitting there all morning since that push down, and it's just tapped into it now at 9:08 on the future. So it's whether or not it was pretty trapped between these two, by the way, but that's the first kind of really decent push into that 900 level that we've got. So let's see if we can reject off.
All right, guys, looking around, not seeing many votes there, guys. Smash it up, guys. Let me know. All right, there. First Solar is starting to make that turn off the 275 spot. I think this is the vital spot here. The Qs trying to pull back to the VWAP here. It's one of those days out there, guys. I see you guys slowing down with us, and I can't blame you out there. It's definitely a little bit of some crickets out there today. So be careful out there, guys. The crickets are out there, and it's that type of day today. There's the Qs, a little down action there on the Qs. And you know what? I didn't see any votes, but I'm taking it anyways. Let's go for Solar. Let's go. And I got 60 here, guys. 60, 275, 28 here, guys. Now I'm looking to see the takedown. Where's the Qs? Where's the Qs? Let's go, takedown. All right, come on, Success. Let's get a little lift there. I've been stepping up in this First Solar, man. Slowly but surely. I'm in the green there, guys. I'm in the green on First Solar, so I'm not going to touch it again. I'm going to look for the takedown here. Let's go ahead and protect Success and look to see if that can start to make a move. The big thing is the Qs. The Qs will depend what happens here. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on. If I do add to Success, I'll let you guys know. Definitely would like to see this kind of like 25.13 hold here. So I have to stop right underneath it at 25.11s here on Success. See if the Qs can just let go, and this could ride back to 25.60s, 25.70s. That could be a nice, $100, $200 trade. There's the Qs starting to let go here. So now's my chance to step up to the plate on Success. If I want to step up some more, I can. Let's go ahead and do some here. I'd like the 20s or 22s for the ad. There's 23s. Can I get the 22 on the offer? 24s. There we go. Just grabbed it for the slightest second. You guys saw it there. Slightest second. Gotta be quick. Gotta be quick. Like the Geico commercial. Gotta be quick. They're holding the dollar right there. Gotta pull it. Pull it. Big watch now on the Qs. Big watch on the Qs. First Solar, it's the one that I'm really watching here, guys. I need to see this kind of get that real nice flush candle on the 5-minute. Boom, 270s. I'd take some profits and then look to see if this just fades for the rest of the day. That's the way I'm approaching First Solar. Probably take a third off at that 270, 271. Look at the Qs battle this area, man. It's crazy, though. But a lot of battling in that area. There's First Solar, guys. Success might get me out here, guys. Come on, Suzy Q. Scott, FSLR will gradually climb all day, like I know. I looked at it for 10 seconds. I know how that goes, Scott. I know how that goes. I'll tell you one thing, guys. I did just take a hit there on Success there. 129 down, so it could reverse back. The Qs just kind of pop back to that 458.40s. Could still fade off on the day. I could come back at Success, but I also don't want to open myself to an unlimited risk there, right? So it just got out there, 139 down, but still battling in First Solar. I'm pretty sure I can make that right back in First Solar. So let's just keep battling. Let's see what happens. The Qs, man. What a day. This is one of those days where they just lull you to sleep. Downside action, SMT really getting hit hard today. Novavax continuing the decline. Nvidia came back to the trend line, now bouncing, guys. So definitely Nvidia still kind of running the market here, it feels like. The pattern there for Nvidia to maybe take the up move through the 117s, but a lot of wicks in that range. Q's coming back here. Trying my best not to run to the profit in First Solar right now. You know how sometimes we talk about like the emotions that come into trading, right? Well, here's a pure classic example. And I heard someone last week, they were like, my hands get clammy. Well, this is one of those trades, right? This is how it goes, guys. And the most important thing for me in these points are trying to stick objectively where the trade was and what I've looked at prior to what's happening this moment, right? If I focus on only what's happening this moment, I get this emotional run and I probably run to the profits. And then it could just go in my direction. So instead, I'm just staying to the trade right now. Qs are the ones, though. That thing made a move towards like 458.10s and then just bounced right back up. That's where you got to be a little careful. All right, having all out and profit take. So all out is this order box, profit take is at the top. So what does that mean? Protection on the bottom, profit on the top. Got to be ready because this is going to be a fast move when it actually happens here on First Solar. And NVIDIA is doing that push to the up move right through those wicks right now. Let's see if that can continue going. If that continues to climb, it can change all tech. And just all of a sudden Qs start ripping like it is right now, and this could turn around. So I got to be quick to the trigger now on First Solar. Show you guys that really quickly. Look at the Qs. You see that Q's little spike. Could be a trap, but I'll tell you one thing, definitely makes me feel it. See what happens here on First Solar. Yeah, don't let my in-depth analysis sway you, Mitch. I see you, Scott. No worries, man. Much love. Much love. Scott's thinking like I used to say, like, oh, Mitch, you want First Solar to go down? Okay, hold on. Let me long it. That's how it goes sometimes, guys. It's just how it goes. That's how trading goes sometimes. You're like, yo, oh, so you need this one to go up? Okay, so let me go down on it. Isn't that how it goes, Scott? I mean,
well, yeah, I was going to say that's what I was keeping quiet about my video long. I just didn't want to, like, I didn't want to do that. But yeah, it was. When you're shorting hard and adding, I'm like, oh,
Scott doing that under the arm poke. I'll poke you. I'll poke you. I'll poke you. Hey, that's how it goes. One of us will win, hopefully. But yeah, NVIDIA is staying strong there. You see, these are the wicks that I was talking about. So you see those wicks here? All wicks in that area. Now you just got above it. So when you come back to that area, do you find buyers or bids to line up on the downside action? That's what I look at on the tape there. So you see right in that spot right there, I'm looking to see, okay, did some buyers step up there and then hold that pullback on the trend line? This First Solar is just giving me gray hair right now. All right, guys, we're going to take a second here to talk a little bit about what you guys see above, of course. Learn to trade like the pros. Get the pros playbook. We're going to be going step by step, guys, in our deep dive on June 3rd, 7 a.m., 3 p.m. Get the link right now, guys. Hit it up, guys. I'm going to throw it up in the chat here. I want you guys to go ahead and check out what this event is all about. I'll even show you guys in just a second. We'll take a look at the event page and talk about this agenda and everything coming up. Indicators right now is also the day today. And so what are trading indicators? I view them as description for trading, not necessarily entries and exits, but more looking at them to describe the price action like it is right now in First Solar. So the price action has been down. I'll use, let's say, we can use the RSI for example here. So RSI is going to tell us overbought and oversold, overbought towards the top end, oversold towards the bottom end, right? And then a lot of times what it's going to tell me is if this is on a declining action, right? Declining action, meaning that we're going from overbought to oversold, starting to bounce back. I'm looking for this to decline back to the 30s, back to the 20s. So what can that give me? That can give me more what I like to talk about, which is conviction. Conviction in trades is a lot of times what I'm looking for to size up into a trade and tackle it down. So indicators to me are not necessarily, we're not intended to be used for entries and exits, but more description on what is exactly happening to help us better understand the price action. How do you see indicators, Scott?
So I see, so the best indicator for me is what's happening right here, right now with price. It's not necessarily something that you can put on the chart. So I think we use, I use the NASDAQ a lot whenever I'm in a play, and small caps work as well. Sometimes when NASDAQ dumps, the small cap will, in timing wise, will go as well. But yeah, generally it's that kind of confluence like you've been looking at all morning with FSLR and looking at the Qs. Mm-hmm. You're using the Qs as an indicator to give you an idea of what's going to happen with FSLR, and that's kind of what I used to do. I do love the VWAP. I love the VWAP. I do love just standard moving averages or exponential moving averages, I should say, just to give me an idea of what everybody else is doing. And either if what everyone else is doing is at the same time I want to do that same thing, then great. But sometimes it's like what everyone else is doing, and I'm looking to do the opposite. So, yeah, I do use those indicators. VWAP's my favorite, and the moving averages as well as liquid vision, of course, because that's the best indicator you could ever get.
Hey, you know it, guys. Look at that liquidity pool there. It's definitely been holding up there, starting to push up there, and now can start to make that move back to the upside. We'll see what happens there in First Solar. Still in right now, but definitely watching it because above 278s, 279s, it starts to push strong. And what is this a lot? I mean, the Suzy Qs, man, definitely getting a nice little push up there to 459. We'll see if it keeps moving. NVIDIA is the one that could maybe make that run now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, NVIDIA's tying with that. So I closed my NVIDIA. Excuse me. I closed my NVIDIA on this first push in a 117 where it come off down there. And then obviously now we are pushing that sell side. And that is a third level up there at 11920. So if that can break, there may be some momentum to the upside if we can close above it up there to kind of, well, like I said, ultimately I've got that 1200 level, but I'm not feeling today's the day to do it. Everything else is so quiet, but you never know.
Yeah, it's a tough day for sure, guys. It's been a lot of sideways action, a lot of checks down. Clean spark now coming back towards the 1830s. Maybe the miners are a way to play some stock trading action right now. Seeing that miner action right there. All right, First Solar starting to push there. Could get me out in just a second here. Watching it off the 278 spot. Above 278s, I got to get out, take the hit. Spreads opening up there. So you got to be careful here. Definitely getting a little bit of a push there. A lot of this NVIDIA trying to take out the highs, right?
NVIDIA's on the tape now.
Exactly. The Qs are trying to push there too. And so that's one thing to watch there. NVIDIA's leading the action, I feel like. If NVIDIA goes, probably the Qs follow it.
Yeah, you'll always notice there's one or two stocks out of the Mag 7 that are aligned on any given day with like the Qs or the NQ. So and today, obviously, it is Nvidia. I can see they're almost replicating each other. But sometimes it's Meta, sometimes it's Microsoft, sometimes it's like a couple of those that are driving. It hasn't been Tesla for a while.
Tell you one thing, I'm definitely getting the pressure right now in First Solar, and this back up to 278 could stop me out right here, guys. Hands on the trigger to get out. Just watching to see right now if the Qs can make a little bit of a pullback back down to the VWAP. Got to set it around 279 right now. Ultimate risks, if it starts getting through there, I can't even go because the Qs are just playing around right now. Just put a big harmy on the one. Mara's looking strong, so the miners could get hot if the Qs could continue. What is going on, man? It's been definitely a little bit of a trappy day. I would have to say that. Q's pulling back to the 459 spot now. Looking to see if it's going to take the next leg to 459.25. Mara looking interesting for the 22 break. How might Valero do? I was watching Valero earlier. It's pulled back, now starting to work its way back. 163.20 area. 163 was kind of like my buy zone there. So that's not a bad one to watch. Energy starting to get a nice little up move. So that could be one that I could swing until later today and just kind of hold to see if it rides the momentum back to the upside on the hourly. 164 holds is what I want to see. So any pullback to 164 I could add and take the shot off here. This is kind of more of a swing trade attempt there that I'd be looking at, but just to kind of give you guys swing trade attempts also. That's just something that I kind of look at. Probably be risking about $1 here, 164. Doesn't look too bad there on Valero. MPC, another one that I could look at in the oil game. Exxon Mobil starting to work its way back. Oil, they're not looking too bad this morning. Just trying. Qs are trying to get above that 459.
Let's bring us up that agenda, Mitch. See what's going on the deep dive.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's bring that agenda up here. I'll go ahead and set a link here, and I'll throw it up in the chat too. I want you guys to follow along with us here, guys. Look at the deep dive action, guys. We're definitely counting down to it here. Learn from the pros, right? The playbook, guys. June 3rd, 7 a.m., 3 p.m. Only 5 days away. Definitely check it out. And definitely what you want to do is fill this out right here, guys. Sign up now. Throw in the link one more time in the chat here for you guys. Hit that, fill it out so that you guys know exactly all about the action. 8 hours, guys. We'll be doing a kickoff. We'll be doing some plays. Michael, of course, will be joining us. We got Trend Spiders we'll be looking at. We'll be doing Conscious Trading Academy, Trader Sync. A lot of resources for you guys included also in this event. And, of course, the raffle that you guys could be winning and getting some prizes out there. And you might find out a little bit about a new competition. Find out, of course, about the biggest announcement that I think is the most important right here. I'm talking about these swing trades. They're coming to you guys. You might want to find out all about them if you're a swing trader. Get the details only at the event. So see you guys, of course, June 3rd. All day long, guys, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. For you traders that trade all day, I'll see you there for sure. I'll be part of the show, definitely looking into some live plays and a little bit of live play management. We'll see what happens with the new swing plan. Even I don't know some of these details. So I will see you there. I'm going to keep battling. I'm excited to get some swing trade plan. I want to get one of those accounts. You guys will see me taking more and more swing trades also right here live for you guys. So smash the like if you guys enjoy it. Hit that link and don't miss the deep dive, guys. I know I'll be there. The only question is, will you? All right, let's take a look at what else is going on here. Will the Q stop me out or not? Look at the bunch up, man. It's just one of those days where it's kind of like a grind. This is when the algos take control because retail just gets impatient. That's probably what's happening right now, right, Scott? I mean, yeah, I'm sure you even feel it, Scott, the impatience in today's market. Like, which direction do you want to go already? That's what we're seeing. We're seeing a battle.
As soon as it gets to 10:30, really, I'm not really interested in any further execution. If you've got something on, you can manage it, but after that, until after lunch, not really interested in getting involved in that. It will pop or drop at some point, that will play out. But for the minute, you're just going to algo between between those micro pools that they're using. So yeah, I'm out of that. Stay out of that.
All right, it's 10:57. It's time to do a little recap action. Let's go ahead. Let's give a little quick recap, and we'll wrap up the day, guys. All right, like always, guys, smash the like, guys. For me, it's going to be a loss on, of course, Sock's ass. I'm still battling that, essentially, with the Qs trying to battle back, right? And so Sock's ass could come back there. I tried to battle off of this, kind of a little bit of a pattern to hold the 25.30s, undercut, get right back up there. Was down a little bit there, cut 25.11s, had 25.30 average, so lost about 20 cents there. But bigger size. You guys see me stepping up to the plate, 700 shares on that one. So I'm going to keep stepping up to the plate. I hope that you guys enjoy me stepping up to the plate right here in front of you guys. You can do that by either hitting the like button or the share. Let everybody know, hey, you guys want to see some action? Come out here. Definitely that was the action for me. Still have this first solar position. We'll find out what happens with that one. And you guys can find out tomorrow. I'll let you guys know what happens in first solar. Kicking it to you, Scott. What you got for me?
Yeah, what have I got? Well, NVDA is smashing that sell side. I know that in a moment. So I'm assuming NQ is going to gradually follow that as well. But I have POAI. Let's see if I can pop this chart out here. So POAI this morning somewhere. Okay, was a short here at 234 down to 209. So that was a nice short. That was a short off of the benchmark, I believe. If I had a hindsight camera, it would be really nice because that, I could have just held that off, right? It was like it messed about a little bit up there, 3 pumps to that top, and then it's just come off down to the 220s. But yeah, no, I didn't take too bad. What did I get out at? Oh, 209s. I didn't do bad at all. It just wasn't quite up that high when I took it. I did try another short when it did pop up there, but didn't like what I was hearing on the tape at the time, so covered it. This was under 10 cents in any case, so that will be a scratch trade. Then I had, so I mentioned this morning I was looking at these kind of ETFs on Tesla or NVDA. So I took NVDL, and at first I was just toying with it to see what was moving, how did things move aligned with the underlying stock. So I took a little play there, and then I added added 100 here, or opened 100 here, and then it got down to the level on Nvidia. This level was those 80s, right? I was looking at those, 108, and then it got down to 108 on Nvidia, so I had added 500 here, so 100 there and a 500 there add. And I was just toying with what that looked like. But it was nice to be able to get a bit of size on something like Nvidia. But I also did take the Nvidia trade as well. Took that down from that 1108 was the level, and 1110 I was in, and then covered that at the sell side liquidity pool, which it's just pumped through at the moment. What else did I have? Here we are, NVDLs. No, that's me done. That was it. That was it for me.
All right, traders, like always, we're going to keep battling with you guys. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll keep getting after it. And of course, don't miss the event June 3rd. I've thrown the link up plenty of times, but if for some reason you missed it, check the description below. It'll be there, and we will be back tomorrow. Like always, guys, keep the battle in the markets. And like always, it's not one way, but hey, who knows? Maybe we'll end up green. Keep battling out there, guys. You guys know where you're at. Trade the pool, guys. Hit the like on your way out.